Yes, friends. There are some footballers who lack discipline, humility, team play, etc., but have, so to speak, a foot like a racket. They can easily score goals without tiring themselves. Here is one of them, Mario Balotelli. This footballer, known for his undisciplined behavior, insane actions, and racism in most of the teams he has played for, has had a lot of incidents with the tabloids. Trying to throw fireworks out of the window and setting the house on fire, smoking hookah in the bathtub in his house and sharing photos, going to a strip club before a match, and getting fined $400,000 when he was caught. Not only getting away with the fine, but also his girlfriend's resentment. To make up with his girlfriend, he wrote, "I love you, Raphael," on the bottom of his jersey, scored a goal in a match, and showed the writing on his shirt to the cameras. So he's a player who can score goals whenever he wants. You know how they say talent is innate? It's the same with him. Of course, the penalties are not limited to soccer. He has paid more than $10,000 in fines for his car. 27 times he lost his car to the police. Once he was approaching a police stop sign, and he looked up, and there was a cop ahead. He puts a bag of money on the right front seat. The cop asks, "What's all this?" What does Balotelli say? "I'm rich." So, like that. He has many different incidents, like when he played for Inter. "I support Milan. I'm from Milan." Does the media stop when they see this? They take a Milan jersey and go to Balotelli, and Balotelli wears this jersey. Rumor has it that after this incident, Inter players beat Mario Balotelli en masse in the locker room. As you may remember, when he was playing for Manchester City, he made a move and sent the ball out instead of scoring into an empty net. After this position, former Turkish soccer player Sergen Yalçın said, "This kid has no brain." Of course, would Balotelli stop when he heard that? He doesn't. Almost 10 years pass, Sergen Yalçın becomes Beşiktaş technical director, and Balotelli transfers to Adana Demirspor in Turkey. Perhaps the time he has been waiting for years is coming. He scores a very stylish goal with his right foot from outside the penalty area, and instead of celebrating, he goes to the Beşiktaş bench and makes the "I have brains" sign with both hands. Of course, there is always a trauma underneath all this. I'll get to that in a moment, but every team has more or less a rift with their manager. The coach of Adana Demirspor says of Balotelli, "It's one thing if he's here, it's another if he's not." I'll tell you a story I remember about Mourinho and Balotelli. We were away at Rubin Kazan in the Champions League. The strikers were suspended or injured, so all he had was Mario. Mario got a yellow card in the 42nd minute. At halftime, I allocated 14 minutes out of 15 for a 10. I have no other striker on the bench. Please let me take you off. Don't touch anyone, just play the ball. Don't get angry. Don't react when the referee makes a mistake. Please, Mario. Please, Mario. Minute 46, red card. Now let's get to the real reason for his behavior. He had a very difficult childhood. His family, originally from Ghana, was a poor family at the time, and Mario was always dealing with illnesses until he was 3 years old. The disease in his intestines was very expensive and exhausting for his family. One day his father couldn't stand it and said to his mother, "I can't do it anymore, I'm an iron worker." Mario's doctor then said, "When he is 3 years old, this child will not live much longer. Be prepared." So the family throws Mario Barwa away. Yes, you didn't hear wrong. Barwa, because his parents are giving Mario up for adoption. The name Balotelli comes from Silvia and Francesco. After adopting Balotelli and taking on his illnesses, the family also enrolled him in sports at the age of 11. After starting in Inter's youth system, he attracted the attention of Barcelona, but he couldn't live up to expectations here, so he went back. At 18, he changed his last name to Balotelli. This may sound like a scene from a movie, but when Mario became famous, his first family, his birth family, came back. "I don't have a problem with my brother, but I don't accept you," he says to his parents. That's why he chose Italy for the national team, not Ghana. Of course, because he grew up in Italy, the racism he was exposed to as a child also contributed to his trauma. Of course, not only when he was a child, but even when a Roma fan makes a monkey gesture and says, "He threw a banana," he cries and says, "I am a living being," and leaves. One day when he was signing autographs after training, a black boy asked him, "Why didn't you go to school?" The boy replied, "I'm bullied at school." Hearing this, Balotelli gets angry. He takes the boy and goes to the school. First, he talks nicely to the bullying kids and warns them. Then he goes up to the school principal and gives him a good scolding. He shouldn't do these things. It's because of what happened to him when he was little. In the evening, he distributes some of the money he earns from his traumas to orphaned children in Africa. He spends New Year's Eve with orphaned children. I mean, there is a world of good deeds like this that we cannot count. "I'm not crazy," he says, but he has remained so in everyone's mind with his actions. For example, he has a tattoo on his left chest. The tattoo reads, "I am God's punishment. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent me to punish you." So he's crazy, but not in a bad way. Maybe because of what he couldn't do as a child. For example, he and his brother were caught trying to drive a car into a women's prison. When asked why, they replied, "We were curious." So they don't actually have bad intentions. It's just because of traumatic events. And today we talked about Mario Balotelli. If you like our video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Also, don't forget to write your favorite soccer player in the comments. Take care of yourselves.